Okay. Let me switch my screen really fast. Okay, can you guys see all that? That look good?
No, it's just my friend who does doTERRA stuff.
Oh, okay. She's my best friend, so. All right. Let's see here. Okay, Kia, are you ready? I muted you, so just so you know. Okay. All right. Welcome to everyone that's here. We are going to be just talking about the Ōils 101, back to like the basics of using your essential oils, because when you dive in, when you get your first kit or your first selection of oils, you don't want them to go to waste. And honestly, 10 oils can be overwhelming if you do not know how to use them. But once you know how to use them, they're super simple and you're not going to go without them. So we thought it would be a really fun idea to introduce you back to the basics and go from there. So just to start, I thought of a question that I want you to put in the chat. If you're just starting with oils, or even maybe if you already use them, what is one question or confusion you have about the basics of using them? So go ahead and answer that question in the chat. And while you do that, I'm going to do a brief introduction of myself, and then Kia's also going to introduce herself really quick too. So I am a mom of 3. And I have 2 girls and, sorry, no, I don't. I have 2 boys and a little girl. Maybe I'm manifesting for the future. We'll see. But I started using essential oils probably like 4-ish years ago, but I didn't dive in until January of 2022. And that's when I bought my first kit from doTERRA. And it took me about 8-ish months before I decided to do what I do now and sell the oils. Because I just couldn't stop talking about them and I use them constantly. And so why not share them with everyone and anyone who cares to listen to me? But when I first started using oils, prior to that, our family just constantly kept getting hit with every single bug. And it would be like 1 week of downtime, and then we'd be back on our feet again. And then another week of downtime. It was just every other week. And I think I was just so overwhelmed and exhausted from being down for the count and under the weather constantly. And I needed a solution. And so my solution came to me via essential oils. And I followed a girl that's in my community. Her name's Eden. She's on the call right now, actually. And she had been just sharing her oils a little bit at a time and how to use them. And I was like, I need that. I need a solution. And I dove in, and here we are. So that's a little bit about me. Kia, do you want to introduce yourself really quick?
Yes. Is my video working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I have been using essential oils probably my whole life because my mom loved doing essential oils, but she introduced us pretty young and used them for lots of different ailments. And I took on the passion of doing that just because I wanted something a little bit more natural. But I actually have been with doTERRA since 2015. And then I started using it in my massage practice because I'm a massage therapist. And that led to bringing them into my home a little bit more and becoming more educated. And then almost 10 years later, here I am getting into selling them just because I can't stop sharing them and keep finding so many good things that I can incorporate into my home and my kids' lives and our bodies and all of that, because I absolutely love learning about the body and just everything that it can do. So I have 2 kids, a 4-year-old, and this one is 9 months. And then, like I said, I do massage therapy, and I also teach acro dance, which is like a little bit of incorporation of gymnastics and dance together. And absolutely love doing all of that. So I want to keep my body doing that for as long as I can. And so just trying to find ways to do that, and love, love learning about all of this, and excited to start teaching it a little bit more.
That's awesome. Yeah. So this is Kia's first class. So I'm super excited for her. She's going to do amazing today. So let's dive into that question. We had a couple answers. That what is a question or confusion you have about the basics of using essential oils? So one question that was asked is, can I use them wrong? What do I do? Like, what do I need to be cautious of is the question. So that is actually something we're going to cover. There's certain ways to use essential oils. We're going to discuss the ways to use them and the safety of using them. So yes, technically you could use them wrong, but I would say, like, combination wise, there is no wrong as long as it smells good to you. Peyton said, I think a lot of hesitations come from knowing what oil to reach for. Yes, and when, right? And there's so many options, it's hard to know which oil. Yes, so breaking down, even like we'll talk about the top 10 oils today, knowing how to use them and when to use them is your key. And that's like, knowledge is your tool for using it.
But Brooke, I'll say too, with the hesitation that comes from knowing what oils to reach for, I still don't know it all. And I've been using them for, like, doTERRA faithfully for 10 years. And I still will just go to the app and look up stuff that will, and there's always new recipes and all of that going in there too. So
Oh yeah,
I
same.
don't know it all, but I do love that this community and the app helps a lot. So I can just reach for and grab.
Absolutely. We're always, even us who we use them every day and we sell them, are constantly educating ourselves and learning along the way. And there's so many resources too. We have like lots of books and guides that can support you in using your oils. And then Whitley said, I'm not new, but when I was new, I didn't understand the benefit of diluting. Diluting has a negative connotation, so I was confused it was a good thing. Absolutely. So we're definitely going to dive into diluting today too, because it is, I kind of was the same way when I started. I was like, but why not just apply them to my skin? They're so potent. And some of them, do as I say, not as I do. I use still topically without a dilution, but I highly, highly recommend it. And we'll talk about why here in just a minute. Okay. Kia, do you want to talk about the 3 ways we use our essential oils?
Yes. So, not in any particular order, but we did it in this order. One is aromatically. This is probably one of the most common because of how potent and pure the essential oils are, that you can smell them, even if you just like open the bottle. But a very common way to do it is by diffusing, and it helps get it into the air a little bit more. And like, depending on the size of your diffuser, it can get certain square footage, I guess, of your home and how much you like in bigger spaces. You can do it very subtly, or you can do it a little bit more strong, but we're with diffusers. I usually add about 6 to 10 drops, and it also depends on what oils. And then there's the way that you can literally just put some in your hand and then cup it just like so, and then smell. And then, like I said, just smelling the bottle. So one that it's not listed in here, but one that I reach for all the time, because I don't want to be putting it on me all the time, is adaptive. And I'll literally just take the bottle and just smell it when I'm having a really high, I guess, high emotion moment, and I just needed some bringing me back down. The second way is topically, which is on your skin. And that includes a term that I think everyone needs to be aware of is neat, which means undiluted. But dilution is really a great tool to use your essential oils, because when I was taking the doTERRA safety course, it was talking about how some people that, like Whitley said, do worry that diluting an essential oil before applying it reduces its effects. But however, it actually improves the absorption and extends its benefits. And we'll get into some of the carrier oils that we use and why, because those I think can make a big difference in the dilution as well. And then lastly is internally. And they a really common way to use them is in that little picture is in capsules or soft gels. doTERRA has quite a few of those that are already like packed with great stuff, but you can get just like empty veggie caps and pour a combination of oils that you're wanting. Just making sure that you're being aware of which ones you can take internally. The biggest takeaway I would love everyone to understand about internally is if your essential oil has a little like supplement facts box on the bottle, then you can take it internally. And then another thing I would say is to really pay attention to the directions on the bottle, because some of them you don't want to do any more than like 1 drop. But I would suggest starting out with like 1 drop to just see how your body does, and then going up to the recommended dosage from there. And then you can take it with water, which again, it can just help it go through your body a little bit better. And there is a few, sorry, hold on. There is a few that you can do under the tongue, including like frankincense and lavender, but I would just be cautious about doing that with any of the ones that you're not quite sure about. So.
Okay. So as Kia mentioned, we're going to dive into carrier oils. And the most common carrier oil that we use is fractionated coconut oil. So when we're applying topically, at least for me, I always reach for fractionated coconut oil when it's applying to the soles of your feet, because that has the biggest pores in your body. A lot of the times that's the first place we're going to apply oils, on your spine, on your chest, just kind of anywhere on your skin. I want to say from shoulders down is where I use fractionated coconut oil. And I mean, head too, like if I have anything I'm putting on my forehead or temples, I'll also use fractionated coconut oil that way. It is a cheaper option, and it does a really, really good job. So it's, like I said, great for rollers when I'm making my own roller, or doTERRA's pre-made touch rollers. They all have fractionated coconut oil in there as the dilution oil. And like I said, this is really good for normal skin. And I found out though that coconut oil is actually a higher rate to clogging your pores. So that's another reason that I'm like, I don't know if I want to use that directly on my skin face wise. So there's other options for your face that I personally would recommend, but it's not going to harm you. It'll still absorb good. But fractionated coconut oil is, like I said, that's going to be our go-to, and diluting is really good so that you can avoid any irritations that might come from applying an essential oil directly to your skin. So there are some oils that are hotter than other oils. Some examples are oregano and cinnamon. Even the On Guard oil is an option for that too. That's a little bit hotter because it has those hotter oils in it. Peppermint can come across as hotter. It is more of like a cold sensation. So always diluting those hotter oils is highly recommended. Now, another reason we dilute, and Kia will talk about kind of ways to dilute and all of that in a second, but it helps drive and carry our essential oils deeper into the skin. So the goal is to get your essential oil all the way to your bloodstream. So if I'm applying it, let's pretend this is my foot. If I'm applying it on the bottom of my foot, I'm wanting it to drive deep, 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 all the way to the bloodstream. So that's our goal. And with an essential oil, it takes about 22 seconds for the molecules of the oil to reach your brain. And it's going to take about 20 minutes to find those molecules throughout the entire stream of like bloodstream of the body. So it works very quickly. And it is very effective in that sense as well. And even more so aromatically, it's an instant effect to your emotional support too. So the next couple options, jojoba oil is a great one. It has about an average absorption rate, but it's really good for sensitive skin. So if we're talking face again, maybe even tummy area. And then rosehip oil is a really good facial one. I feel like anybody with dry skin, this is a good option. And then olive oil. I will admit I have not used olive oil in the sense of diluting my oils. I have used it when making my own what's that called? Like exfoliating scrubs. I'll do that and then I'll add essential oils to that. But never to dilute. So if you do that, maybe comment in here if you've tried it before and tell me how it works. But it is good for dry skin as well. It is a little bit of a heavier oil, but it's not going to clog your pores as much as coconut oil, surprisingly. So, like I mentioned, from top to bottom, I would recommend fractionated coconut oil first, in the sense of just the basic diluting. So let's go on to our dilution guide. Kia's going to go over that for you.
So age range wise, you want to be a little bit more cautious with, think about like baby skin and elderly skin, pretty compatible with sensitivity wise. So on this dilution guide, it says 0 to 12 months, but I would also add anybody older that has like geriatric age wise, so that it can be included in there for a little bit more sensitive skin. But 0 to 12 months, about 1 to 5 drops of the oil, and then fill the rest of the 10 milliliter bottle. They look like this. Fill the rest of it with the carrier oil that you choose. Like she said, I do use the fractionated coconut oil more often just because they offer that pretty readily available, and it comes pre-diluted in these bottles specifically from doTERRA. The only one that is not, and I don't have it with me, the only one that comes in the roller bottle that is not diluted is, I wouldn't say the only one, actually, I'm not educated on that enough, but one of the ones that I know is Immortelle is not diluted. So if you ever have the bottle Immortelle, it is not diluted, but most of them that come in these bottles are already pre-diluted. These children ones are a little bit more diluted, with less oils in the amount compared to the amount of carrier oil. So like it says on this guide, 1 to 5 years, you can do about 5 to 10 drops. Also putting into consideration, sorry, I didn't say that, but how sensitive their skin is. So I do have a lot of people that ask because their kid has eczema or other skin or just really sensitive skin, diluting it a little bit more with less drops of oil will help so that you can steer clear of any irritations. And then 6 to 11 years, about 10 to 20 drops, and then 12 plus years, 25 or 20 to 35 drops, with the rest of fractionated coconut oil, or any other carrier oil. So. Some things to think about with safety, and I think this is where a lot of people get pulled back, is first and foremost, oil and water do not mix. So the number one safety tip that I probably get asked is what happens if an oil gets in your eye. Do not flush it with water. Flush it with a carrier oil. And then once the irritation has gone away, then you can start rinsing it with water. But yeah, just making sure that you're not getting it too close even to any of those areas that are technically considered internal, such as in the eyes, in the ears, and then the genitalia area.
Yeah, can I add to that really quick?
Yes,
Just,
please.
just from my own experience, my daughter, she's 2.5, and she gets into my oils all the time. I've even had this happen where I'll rub a roller like On Guard on her feet, but she likes to help. And so she'll put her hands all over her feet and she'll immediately like reach for her face. And we've had several instances where it gets in her eyes. And of course, she chooses the oils that's like the hottest oil to like
Right.
burn her little eyeballs out. So yes, definitely flushing them out. I've even had to go as far as to pour milk in her eyeballs
Yes,
to
yes,
like
milk. That was
to
a
loosen
good
it
one.
up
I
and to
forgot.
get it out. So if it does happen, just be really careful and cautious and make sure you get it out as fast as possible. But she's okay. She can still see just fine, just so
Yes,
out there.
yes. And we've had the same instance with my baby. She actually got shots last Thursday. And so we've been putting, I don't have them, actually, I do have them in here. I've been putting Lavender Touch, which keep in touch because that has a good promo this month. And then Copaiba and lemon. Lemon I've been doing on the bottom of her feet, but it's been awesome to do. But she'll put her hands down there and start making her way to her face or her diaper area for sure. The next thing I want to talk. Hey, Adeline. Okay, but I need you to be quiet, okay? So diluting with a carrier oil, and like Brooke had mentioned, some oils are hotter than others, and she mentioned some good examples like the On Guard clove, cinnamon, and I would add any oils that have those oils in them as well, like any, I can't think of the word right now, blends. Thank you. Any blends that may have any of those hot oils in it, I would be a little bit more cautious with. And then storing away from children, like she just talked about. I keep most of my like most common like ones that I use in this bag. It at least zips up. It's not 100% safe for my 4-year-old, but teaching them how to use oils, but reminding them that they're not toys, but they are tools, is great. Because my daughter, she knows to ask for an adult's at least supervision to like put it on. And she absolutely loves helping as well. She loves putting them on her little sister. And so we try and make sure that, there's an adult present when that happens. And then we keep the rest in the little box. I have them scattered around, but never in, I guess, in right, right in the way so that they'll keep grabbing them. And I know that even sometimes I've put these on my daughter during diaper changes. That's when I'll most commonly do stuff if she's got an irritation, and she'll grab these to put them in her mouth. And I would just be cautious of anyone that may do that. My husband likes to like give them to her to like chew on or whatever. The caps are not 100% secure. And so sometimes accidents happen. The nice thing is I have peace of mind most of the time when something does happen, like the lid comes off, because of how good the ingredients are. But just being aware that that they're not 100% secure. And then the biggest takeaway I would say for all essential oils is that less is more. Pure essential oils are very potent, especially doTERRA's, because of how pure they are, and a little bit goes a long way. So like I'd mentioned earlier, in the diffuser, about 6 to 10 drops in the diffuser, and then in the dilution guide that we can send to you if you need it. Okay, so we're gonna go through the top 10 oils that are in. Hold on just a second.
Okay, so like Kio was saying, we're just going to go through the top 10 oils that are in 2 of our main kits that are available, the Healthy Start Kit and the Home Essentials Kit. And these are all very versatile, and they're the ones that we recommend to anyone. And you can always go and create your own kit, but these ones are already pre-made for you by doTERRA, and they just specifically picked them because of the benefits that they have and the ailments that they support.
And for sure, these top 10 oils are the ones that I would recommend to anyone because of how much I reach for them. And then, like Brooke was saying, they're already in a kit for you, and you can get free stuff and they're at a better price. So, like, if you break it down to each oil, you're going to be paying a lot more if you just make your own versus the deals that they give you. And that's why they put them in these pre-made enrollment kits. So first is lemon, and I just think of like cleansing. And like I said, I used it for on the bottom of my daughter's feet, diluted, because it helped kind of pull any gunk out of her system from her shots. And it has a very refreshing and uplifting aroma. So any citrus oils have a lot of that cleansing, I guess, and uplifting kind of association with them. And then it's a great oil that may support your digestion and in your just internal cleaning. So like I said, just cleansing, that's kind of how I think about it. Peppermint, she had mentioned, it has a little bit of a cooling sensation, but we reach for it a lot of time to help with to support the digestion as well, or any indigestion. My husband actually had a little bit of food poisoning yesterday, and so he took a drop of peppermint in his tummy. I did put digestin, not peppermint, but on his stomach diluted, and he instantly stopped feeling as nauseous. It gave him some comfort and relief from that. And it can also help with head tension and any, I guess, achy feelings in the head and other stuff. It helps open the airways as well for like respiratory. And then it can definitely help with energy. A little tidbit with peppermint is it helps with energy, and I was using it as a mom who needed some help with energy for lack of sleep with a baby that is nursing. And it also has some cautions with it, just because it did decrease my milk supply a little bit. So just be aware of all of the benefits and all of the things that it may affect. Then we have lavender. It's incredible for its soothing, is what I kind of associate with lavender. It helps with relaxation and promotes lots of restful feelings in your body. I love using this with peppermint and lemon during allergy season. Me and my daughter both have pretty good seasonal allergies, so we like pairing those together to make it so that we can get some relief in the sinuses. And then last is tea tree, or melaleuca oil. Some people know it as melaleuca. And it's really well known for its purifying properties. And I learned that it's really good to help with bacteria and freshening air when it's like diffused. So
Awesome. So just a quick story on my end. Last year, I went out to dinner with my husband and some of his friends, and I ended up having some type of poor reaction to the food I was eating, which led to my tummy feeling unwell, not being able to catch my breath, and wheezing, which was kind of scary in the moment. And it's only happened to me a couple of times, and I don't know what triggers it. And I don't even know what I was eating that could have caused it. But I do remember that at one point, like I went to the bathroom, I had Digestin with me, which we'll talk about in a minute, and I rubbed that on my tummy. And that gave me some time to kind of like ease what was happening. But I did go back to the dinner table and I looked at my husband like, we got to go. And he's like, no, no, like, let's stay and talk to my friends. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I'm not feeling well. And so we got home and I immediately grabbed lemon, peppermint, and lavender and put a drop of each in water and downed that. And I probably within 30 seconds felt that like, okay, I can actually catch my breath again. I can calm down. And it alleviated some of that stress of whatever was going on in my gut and just kind of assisted me in working my way through that reaction, whatever I was having a reaction to. So it does support if you have any kind of those food reactions. And then let's move on to the next 4 oils. On Guard is doTERRA's protective blend. Absolutely love diffusing this, applying this, taking this internally for so many reasons because it kicks the gunk out of your house, out of your body. If you do fall under the weather and down for the count, then you're going to want to be taking this. But it's a preventative and a protective. And I feel like it aids you in getting through whatever's going on faster. And so it naturally and effectively provides that immune support when used internally. So a lot of the times going back to those veggie capsules, you can add a drop to that. Or just if you're brave enough, throw it in some water and chug it that way. doTERRA also offers them in soft gel form too. So that internal wise, that's a good option. I really like to apply it to my kids' feet at night to give them that added support. And like I said, if they are feeling unwell or myself, I'll apply it to their feet and spine, just really get it into that bloodstream. You can use this when cleaning. So I apply it to a lot of my homemade all-purpose sprays. And like I mentioned, just diffusing it and applying it if you do feel under the weather. Paired with it is its best friend, Breathe. So if we are down for the count, you're going to want to be diffusing both of these at the same time, especially if it's something that is like head related, chest related. Breathe is really good at maintaining feelings of a clear airway and helps with easy breathing while minimizing the effects of those seasonal threats. So like if you're suffering from anything going on because of the season you're in of life, the season of you're in during winter, fall, summer, spring, whatever it is, if your kids go to school and they bring something home, these are your 2 that you're going to want to have on hand. And then you can apply Breathe to your chest, to your back, to your feet. When you're having those barking situations from your chest or there's heaviness, this is really good for Breathe. If you have a spouse who tends to make awful noises at night when they're sleeping, if you know what I mean, this is actually really good for that too. My husband doesn't do it very often. Only when he is feeling unwell will he ever like be snoring at night. So, okay, Digestin, like I mentioned earlier, this is the one I had on hand when I was at that restaurant. This is the digestive supportive blend, and it's all things tummy. And this is really good for all ages. But again, going back to that dilution, it's really important for whatever age. And it's going to help lessen discomfort from maybe eating too much. Like if you went to that restaurant and maybe not necessarily having a poor reaction, but just feeling stuffed, that's a great one to use. It's going to soothe that occasional upset tummy. And that's going to be done when you take it internally. So you can drop a drop in some water. I think doTERRA also has Digestin capsules. Again, some of those are soft gels, some of those are available that way. And then it helps reduce gas and occasional indigestion when using internally. On that note, I like to apply it to my babies when they have like a stinky full tummy and they're just not feeling the best in their tummies. That's a great one to support them. And Kia mentioned the kids collection earlier. They have a form of this called Tamer. It's a little bit different oils, but it kind of does that same thing, and it is already pre-diluted for children, so that's amazing too. All right, so then frankincense. Honestly, frankincense can do everything. It's the king of all oils. It can help maintain that healthier skin look. A lot of people apply it to their skin, and it helps just bring life back to the areas of your skin that need it. Frankincense may support healthier cellular function when taken internally. And then it's also a great tool for like kiddos if they get an ouchie, or for you if you have head discomfort from the kids screaming at each other. Great one to have on hand with that peppermint. Pair those two together for that head discomfort. Okay, and then the last two of the 10 common oils is oregano. Oregano is the powerhouse oil. This is our hot oil. Do not apply this without diluting it. It was not doTERRA's brand of oregano, but I did have a friend who applied another brand of oregano essential oil. I'm not exactly sure why, but she applied it to her son's ear because he had an ear infection, and she sent me a picture, and this oil put a hole through his ear. Like it burned a hole right through his earlobe. So don't do it. Even doTERRA's oregano is really, really hot. So always dilute it. And I wouldn't recommend putting it on your face at all. So don't do that. But it does knock out anything in its path. So this is a great one. If you do become under the weather, if you did catch something, apply this one along with several of these other ones. I didn't put it in here, but I'll tell you the 5 oils I'd recommend in just a second. When you do feel unwell, pairing it with some of those would be amazing. So oregano contains powerful cleansing and purifying properties. Again, it's going to support those areas. It supports digestive and respiratory function when used internally. Now, I'm going to say that with quotations because I will use this internally. However, I put it in a veggie capsule with several other oils, and I only use 1 drop for myself. I don't recommend giving it to children. I don't at least give it to my kids. Maybe some others might, but I do apply it topically to them. And then it provides powerful antioxidants also when ingested. And then, okay, before I go to Deep Blue really quick, oregano, there is a blend. If anybody wants a graphic of it, we can send it to them. Another amazing reason to get this collection of oils, whether it's the small version or the bigger version, is to make what's called a flute roller. This is like our roller that we go to when we are feeling unwell and we want to get better faster. We want to alleviate some of that discomfort that we're feeling or whatever. You're going to use your frankincense. You're going to use lavender or lemon, either one. I actually go back and forth, but you can use either one of those. On Guard, oregano, and tea tree. And all 5 of those go into a roller bottle. I do 10 drops of each, except for oregano. I only do 5. And you go back to that carrier oil of fractionated coconut oil, top it off, and you make your perfect little roller for when you're down for the count. And then, okay, that last oil comes in a 5 milliliter bottle. This is one that is pretty potent, and I don't use it actually very often because there's other forms of it. I've never diluted it. Is that surprising? I don't know if you have, Kia, but it's like nature's icy hot. So that's a good way to put that. It doesn't have any additives or chemicals inside of it. It's just pure Deep Blue. It gives you this cooling, soothing sensation for any kind of discomfort you might be feeling. If you exercise a lot and there's discomfort maybe in your knees or your back, this is awesome prior and after you exercise. It contains powerful cleansing and purifying properties as well. And then I would apply it to the area of concern. It's not one that you just apply everywhere. Let's say like I've been having shoulder discomfort lately. I like to apply Deep Blue in any form to the back, to that actual spot that it's discomfort, but dilute it. Make sure you're diluting it if you're using it in the oil form.
Really quick, Brooke. So I love these 10 oils, and I love the actual oils and not the roller bottles, because you can make your own roller bottles out of these and it goes so much further. So I have not reached for the deep blue specifically other than in my massage practice, but I dilute that with the lotion or whatever oil I'm using for my client. Um, and I compare that with like the deep blue rub for the specific, like she was saying, the areas of concern, because it is a little bit more of like an intense feeling in that one spot that they're doing. But I do definitely reach for the other versions of deep blue, but like the oregano, and you making your own oregano touch, that will make your oregano go so much further, as well as those other ones that you had mentioned. And then last thing I would say with all of these oils and baths, I did not mention baths, but don't put the one of the biggest mistakes, and I've even made it myself, but is putting the oil directly in the bath water. Because oil and water don't really mix, especially some of those hot oils. It just makes it a catastrophe. So put it with Epsom salts, and or pre-dilute it with the coconut oil and add that into your bath as like a bath oil. Because I know that it is so awesome to use like On Guard with support for your immune system, um, either after the bath or in the bath, like already diluted in Epsom salt or coconut oil.
Yeah, I agree. I love using these oils in the bathtub. So especially at bedtime, it's the best. Okay. Really quick, we just got a couple more things to go over. All of those 10 oils are available in these two kit options. So the Healthy Start Kit is like our smaller kit. It is one that I would say to get if you want to dabble and like try all the oils and you're not wanting to dive all the way in yet. This is a great starter kit, and it comes with a pebble diffuser. And then we're going to talk about some freebies that come with both of these kits as well in just a second. So that one comes, the Healthy Start Kit has 5 milliliter bottles. There's 10 of them of all of those oils we just talked about, plus the Pebble Diffuser. And then the Home Essentials Kit. This is our bigger kit of all of those oils again. But this is one that's like, nope, I'm ready to dive in. Like Kia said, this is a great option if you're wanting to like make your own rollers. It's going to go so far and last you so long. Even if you're diffusing and making your own roller bottles. So that's a great one to get if you're ready to just be like, nope, I want the whole collection. It comes with a little bit of a bigger diffuser. It's called the La Luz diffuser. And then 9 of the 10 oils are 15 milliliter bottles. The deep blue still comes in that 5 milliliter bottle just because it is so potent and goes a really, really long way. So those are the two options that we'd recommend to get those 10 oils that we just talked about, especially if you're starting new, if you're a beginner. And then with both of those kits, you can have the opportunity to get free gifts. Who doesn't love free stuff? And Kia and I both right now have an exclusive code with doTERRA that is available to you to get these free products. So the Healthy Start Kit is it's sitting at 100 PV order, and that's pretty close to the dollar amount. You do get a free lavender touch. Kia showed it earlier when using your exclusive code, which is available in just a second. You'll apply that code at checkout and you'll get the free lavender touch and free shipping. Now, if you're wanting to maybe add a couple things to this or have a little bit of a bigger order, but not, I mean, even if you want to go all the way to the big kit, you can go to 150 PV and you can pick your gift from doTERRA. So you still get that lavender touch with our code. And then you can pick one of those 3 gifts right there. There's a pebble diffuser, there's the foaming hand soap and the dispenser, or there's the double bundle pack of the toothpaste, which is so good. I love that toothpaste so much. And then that bigger kit, that Home Essentials Kit, is available at 200 PV. So 200 PV is going to get you your free citrus bliss. This oil is amazing to diffuse, and it smells like, what's the right way to put it? an orange popsicle, an orange creamsicle. That's what it smells like to me. Some people say it kind of smells like a Starburst too, but this one smells so good. You get that completely free when you order that home essentials kit, as well as the lavender touch, as well as the free gift that you pick out. So you're getting like all the bells and whistles right off the get-go. So consider that when you are wanting to purchase one of those 2 kits, you can get yourself a free gift that way. And then the codes that we have to offer. So Kia and I do not have the same code. So if you came here to support her and you saw it on her slides or her Instagram that she announced this call, go ahead and use her code at checkout and apply it. So you'll see your free product show up with whatever you order. And then if you did come here with me and you saw it on my slides or my Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and use my code at checkout, and that will get you your free product. Kia, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or does anyone have questions?
No, I was just going to ask if anyone had questions or if anyone is still uncertain about anything, because I know this one is like back to the basics and there was some insecurities that we were trying to address.
Hey, nobody's saying anything in the chat, so I think maybe we got it all clear. If you do have any questions or need support in any way at all, whether that's links to these kits or how to use any of the oils in other ways, just message us and we will happily support you. And another thing too, just to add, is aside from those free gifts, Kia and I are always here to support you when you do become one of our customers, because again, we don't want your oils to go to waste and we want you to use them all the time and see the benefits and reap the reward of using them. So thank you all for coming. I'm going to stop sharing here just a second. I'm going to end this recording.